Welcome to the Strange Files, where reflection becomes emergence, taking ordinary things and spiraling them into life principles, metaphors, and new perspectives on possibility, seeing life from new angles. Have you ever looked at an ordinary object and thought, that can teach me something? Such as, a whisk can become a reflection on connection. A train track can become a way of understanding progressive recurrence. Even your housework can reveal something about maintenance, rhythm, and life. This podcast is a place for spiraling life principles through ordinary things and for exploring the reflections, patterns, and perceptions that shape how we move through life. It's an exploration about noticing and about what becomes possible when we see from new angles. I often use ordinary things as metaphors because everyday life can carry more meaning than we first notice. It's less about giving answers and more about opening exploration from a different lens. It's not overthinking. It's evolving thought that can provoke new perspectives. Awareness can refine expression. So hold on to your seats. This ride could get a little weird. I'm Lisa. Welcome to the Strange Files. Right. The Strange Files has officially entered the office supplies dimension. And somehow we're uncovering profound emotional truths through stationery, which is either deeply profound or a sign I need more sleep. Either way, we're continuing the weirdness. Have you ever noticed the difference between a paperclip and a staple? Honestly, this is either profound or I've finally lost the plot entirely. One holds things together gently. The other violently launches itself through paper like, we are staying connected whether you like it or not. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized humans do this too. Not just in relationships either, but in life. In the way we structure ourselves, the way we hold things together emotionally, the way we desperately try to stop our entire existence falling apart by Wednesday afternoon. Because some people move through life like staples. Everything has to feel fixed, permanent, secure, locked tightly into place. And honestly, sometimes that comes from fear. Fear of losing control, fear of uncertainty, fear that if we loosen our grip for even a second, everything might collapse. So we hold tighter. Relationships, routines, identities, expectations, and entire versions of ourselves. And sometimes we don't even realize how much pressure we're creating while trying to keep everything together. Because a staple doesn't just hold paper, it pierces through it. And humans do that too sometimes. We push through boundaries, we force permanence, we hold on to things long after they've naturally stopped fitting. Meanwhile, the emotional paperclip people are over there like, can we maybe breathe first? And I think that's where the deeper reflection sits. Because flexibility is often misunderstood. People associate flexibility with weakness. But maybe flexibility is actually what allows things to evolve naturally without completely breaking apart. Maybe some things were never meant to be stapled permanently into place. Maybe some things need room to shift, adapt, grow, change shape. Because life changes, people change, we change. And maybe healthy structure was never about forcing everything to stay exactly the same forever. Maybe it's about learning how to hold things together with enough care that they don't require pressure to survive. Because sometimes we actually damage things trying too hard to keep them together. And honestly, that's probably the deepest thing a piece of office stationery has ever taught me. So maybe take a moment to reflect on the way you hold things together in your own life. Where have you been gripping too tightly out of fear something might change? Where have you forced permanence onto things that naturally needed space to evolve? Where have your emotional attachments become staples instead of paper clips? And where might flexibility actually create more stability than control ever could? Because humans change, relationships change, and life changes. And maybe healthy structure was never about forcing everything to stay exactly the same forever. Maybe it's about learning how to hold things together gently enough that growth can still happen inside the connection. Because maybe healthy connection was never supposed to feel like pressure. Maybe it was supposed to allow room for movement, for change, for growth, without everything falling apart the second life shifts slightly. And honestly, that's probably the deepest life lesson anyone has ever learned from office supplies. We will pick this up again soon, and I will see you there.